afternoon. You continue to be with CNN News 18. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar. Let's get straight to the political developments happening in Hyderabad. It's a star-studded campaign season for Hyderabad civic body polls. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is in Hyderabad and currently holding a road show. He's already visited the Bhagya Lakshmi temple and offered press. Later in the day, Amit Shah is also expected to hold a press conference at the BJP state office. Remember, over 150 wards are up for grabs in the high-stake polls that will be conducted on the 1st of December. Let me go across to my colleague Swastika. Swastika, of course, huge turnout on the ground. Home Minister Amit Shah in the city to campaign for the BJP. Also expected to hold a press conference later in the day at the state BJP office. Help us understand what's happening around you.
Well, the visuals playing out on your screens right now, our Home Minister Amit Shah is reached Secunderabad, where he's going to hold a road show. It's a 5-kilometer long road show that he's going to hold there. There's a huge crowd, wave of saffron all over to greet the Home Minister who's arrived at the state in the city of Hyderabad to campaign for the GHMC elections. The BJP has been going all out with its campaign. Yesterday it was Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath who had come here, and the turnout was huge. Today Home Minister Amit Shah has come here, and for the BJP cadres who've come here, it's a big morale booster. I was speaking to a few BJP cadres on the ground, and they say with the national leadership coming in here, it just goes on to show how serious they are about acquiring the state of Telangana, and that in itself is a huge motivation for them, because these cadres have been embarking on door-to-door campaign. They've been following the big leaders, the crowd, reaching out to the voters. For them, with Amit Shah coming in, they see that this is going to be a semi-final finish to the GHMC campaign. The GHM today is the last day of campaigning. It's going to end at 6 o'clock as per the directions given by the State Election Commission. So the BJP is pulling out all stops, with Amit Shah, of course, being the showstopper to raise mega campaign trail. Back to you.
Absolutely. So, Swastika, continue to be with us. Let me just, help our viewers who are just joining us to understand what really is happening. Amit Shah in Hyderabad, as we've been continuing to point out, that the BJP has leaving no stone unturned with all its mega star campaigners for the GHMC polls. 150, I beg your pardon, wards are up for grabs. The TRS, of course, also confident of its position, but a huge morale booster for the cadre of the BJP to see their big central leaders on the ground. So Home Minister Amit Shah, after reaching Hyderabad, visited the Bhagya Lakshmi temple. Now at Secunderabad, where he'll be holding a road show which is about 5 kilometers, and then a press conference at the BJP state office as well. Let me go back to Swastika. Swastika, today is of course the last day of campaigning. So this is the last push that the BJP can have on the ground to try and make inroads at a city in a government where the TRS has been very, very comfortable with. Remember, there is also a sense of an anti-incumbency factor that the BJP could play on very well.
Absolutely, and the BJP is going all out. They've released chart sheets. Look at their campaign strategy, which has been designed by Bhupendra Yadav, who helped NDA win Bihar elections. First, he brought in Javadekar, then he got in a youth icon leader in the form of Tejasvi Surya, who visited the Osmania University, who accused the MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi of being the son of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So with BJP ramping up rhetoric like this, it is, creating an impact on the ground. It's trending on social media, and it has, more importantly, forced TRS as well as MIM to release statements. The MIM says that this kind of divisive politics, or the accusations that have been leveled against them, that they've been sheltering Rohingyas and Pakistani nationals in the old city. They've asked the Home Minister Amit Shah to release a list, and even questioned why MOS Home of State Kishan Reddy, who has also been campaigning, has not taken actions yet. The TRS says that this kind of divisive politics is not going to matter. They're confident of sweeping the elections. They've won 99 last time, and this time they're saying they're going to cross a century. So the accusations have been flying thick and fast, Ridhima, but as far as the BJP is concerned, they've been going very sharp. They've been going all out. They've been trying to portray a picture that the TRS government has failed to deliver and has only helped the MIM to expand its footprint in the state. They've only helped MIM to, carry out its divisive agenda. These are the accusations that are being leveled by the BJP, which is why today the whole Home Minister visiting Hyderabad, he started his trip or campaign trail at the Bhagya Lakshmi temple, which is in the old city area of Hyderabad. Now that in itself is a big political message, because that temple has always been a bone of contention. It is a communally sensitive issue, and Home Minister Amit Shah coming there, boosting the morale of people, offering his prayers to the temple, and then embarking on a road show at the Sanat Nagar and Secunderabad Assembly constituency is in itself a big political message that the BJP is going to leave no stone unturned as far as the Mission Telangana is concerned.
Absolutely. Swastika, stay with us. Our political editor Maria Shakil also now joining us. Maria, exactly what I was discussing with Swastika, that, leaving the war of words on one side, let's just talk about how the intent of the BJP is looking like on the ground, because the messaging looks great as far as the party cadre is concerned. For them, they have their central leadership on the ground with them campaigning for a municipal polls, and that's a huge boost to the cadre as well as the party karyakartas.
Yes, that's right. I mean, this is a state where the BJP first made its presence in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections with 4 Lok Sabha seats. And now the presence of senior leadership will certainly infuse the party karyakartas. Because they sense that the kind of commitment that is being displayed by the central leadership to an election which was supposed to be completely localized. A localized election of this nature of Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation should have been about just the local leadership.
Well, yeah, we can hear you, Maria. Go ahead.
Yes. So now we can see those visuals in which Home Minister is in a roadshow in Secunderabad. This is an important part where we have seen a significant kind of development as well. Hyderabad has been the IT city, the city of and a city which was largely established by TDP chief Chandrababu Naidu. He was seen as the first CEO chief minister in the 2000 and early 1990s and 2000s. And at that time, the city of Hyderabad came up. The infrastructure projects were set up, and IT companies from Silicon Valley sensed an opportunity here, and hence all these developments took place. Politically speaking, this is also the city which has a significant presence of Muslims, and minority population has largely sided with its member of parliament from Hyderabad, that is Asaduddin Owaisi. And Mr. Owaisi's party has expanded its footprints in Maharashtra, where they have a member of parliament. They have 5 MPs from the state of Bihar, and also they are looking at now making entry in the state of West Bengal, also in Uttar Pradesh in 2022. So they are hoping to expand their footprint.
Yeah.
And now the BJP, because they see this as a place which has voted for Prime Minister in 2019, and because of the Bakka bypolls, as Swastika has been pointing out repeatedly, that is what party leaders on ground say, that the Bakka bypolls is an indication of the churning that is happening within the state, which is yearning for change. And because the opposition space, even the TRS acknowledges, has been completely, the Congress has given the complete space to any party. There is a huge vacuum as far as the opposition space is concerned. That is the reason why the BJP is sensing an opportunity, and they're looking at occupying the opposition space. They are making this about TRS versus the BJP in the GHMC polls, and then they are looking at how the response would be in these municipal polls, and finally they can expand their footprint and look at expanding it in the assembly elections when they take place.
Absolutely, Maria, taking on from what you were saying, the TRS is accepting the fact that the only opposition is the BJP. The BJP will see that as a compliment, because that's where the fight is between the TRS and the BJP, and with the incumbent factor that could lead the TRS to losing the polls, this is a great window of opportunity for the BJP.
Yes, absolutely. Look, even the TRS acknowledges that as far as the opposition space in the state is concerned, that has now been occupied by the BJP. And now, because that has happened, and with the Congress completely now looking weak in the state. And remember, the state of Telangana was created by the Congress party. They played an important role. It was during the UPA regime that the state of Telangana finally took shape. And the state was formed because they thought that if a state is created separately out of Andhra Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh at that time was largely seen as the kind of dominance they saw was of the TDP largely. And there the TDP has been voted out. It is YSR Congress that is there in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And as far as Telangana is concerned, the Congress thought that they would be able to ensure that it is their state. They would be able to ensure, because it is the state created during the UPA regime, they would be able to establish their presence completely in one of the southern states, have a complete clout over it. And the state voted for TRS, Telangana Rashtra Samiti, a state, a party which is completely based out of Telangana, a strong regional player. And election after in the elections that have taken place, they have been voted overwhelmingly with 2/3 majority.
Yeah.
The TRS has a complete iron fist control in the state politics. Now that is being challenged by the BJP, be it in the Lok Sabha elections, followed by Dubakka bypolls, and now in these municipal elections.
Right. Mara, just stay with us. We also have Bhanu Prasad Rao of the TRS. Bhanu Prasad Rao, what I want to understand is a simple question. With the TRS accepting the fact that the only opposition with Telangana is the BJP, and with all the heavy guns of the BJP campaigning there on the ground, is the TRS uncomfortable of its position and the outcome?
No, actually, TRS party has got the people's support. During the last floods and all, Hyderabad suffered a lot in the floods. But none of these leaders, none of these heavyweights, like Amit Shah, who is the Home Minister of India, he was supposed to react at the time of flood situation in Hyderabad. During the flood situation, he never appeared here and he never responded. After the flood situation, after the people of Hyderabad faced a panic situation in Hyderabad, during the time, being a Home Minister of this country, he never responded. But now he came here to split the people of Telangana, to split the people of Hyderabad, divide them into communal, divide them on the communal basis. So this type of politics will not be accepted in Hyderabad city.
So
definitely, people of Hyderabad are very politically very aggressive people and politically known people. The people of Hyderabad have seen many political agitations, so now they know everything.
Yeah.
What development has happened in the last 6 years.
But that's why the criticism from the BJP is coming, Mr. Bhanu Prasad, that the TRS just hasn't done enough as far as the ground issues for the people of Telangana are concerned. If you're telling me that the TRS is confident of its win in Telangana, what is the kind of estimates that you're working with?
So we are expecting, in the last elections, we got about 99 corporator seats in GHMC. We are confident that we will cross 100%. I'm sure we are confident that we will get more than 100 seats. In spite of all these, even Prime Minister of India has tried to establish some sort of political ground here. And the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, people are coming with a lot of suitcases and they are trying to spend money like anything in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Particularly the BJP top leaders and the BJP central ministers, they are coming with their suitcases, they are coming with their briefcases, and they are trying to spend as much money as they can. But the TRS party is based on the people.
Okay, so that's the allegation coming in from the TRS that the BJP is only working with briefcases of money on the ground, and that really wouldn't work for the people. Right. Right, Mr. Bhanu Prasad, I get your point. Thanks for joining us. Well, that's the words coming in from the TRS, where the TRS is now accusing the BJP of just working with briefcases of cash on the ground, and that really wouldn't work for the people of Telangana, because divisive politics will not work for a city like Hyderabad. So, of course, both sides equally confident as far as their positioning and winning the GHMC polls are concerned. The TRS saying that we're not scared of the heavy star campaigners on the ground because people will look for work, and the TRS has done enough. The BJP, on the other hand, feels that there is an anti-incumbency feeling, and this is an opportune time for the BJP to make inroads, of course, riding high on the momentum that they saw in the Dubakka by-poll. So as of now, you have Home Minister Amit Shah in Hyderabad. He's undertaking a massive roadshow from Secunderabad. This is about 5 to 6 kilometers. He will also be holding a press conference later in the day at the state BJP office. All of this started with a visit to the Bhagya Lakshmi temple early in the day. Remember, this is the last day of campaigning, so the last mile push by the BJP. So it's not just Home Minister Amit Shah. You've already seen UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who's also now stirred up a controversy, saying that if the BJP comes to power, the BJP will be looking to rename Hyderabad as well. And of course, you've also had the party president JP Nadda campaign for the BJP. Now, this has been happening for weeks and months. It all started with Union Minister Smriti Irani, then the likes of Gautam Gambhir, and of course, then the star campaigners of the party president, UP Chief Minister, and now the Home Minister himself. For the BJP, of course, the momentum looks good because for the party cadres, this will be great to see the central leadership down on the ground for the GHMC polls, which have about 150 wards. For the TRS, they've accepted the fact that the only opposition today for Telangana is the BJP. But with these heavyweights also coming on the ground, the TRS not uncomfortable with their positioning and pretty much confident going on to say that they will win at least 100 seats. Let me go back to my colleague Swastika. Swastika, the roadshow is on. We're expecting a press conference later in the day. Define the scenes that you're seeing around us. Huge turnaround on the ground.
Absolutely, there's a huge turnaround on the ground, and there is a wave of saffron that is witnessed, and we are seeing those visuals playing out on the screens right now. The BJP supporters in the state, in the city, and the BJP Karyakartas are all filled with excitement because they are witnessing Home Minister Amit Shah campaigning for the GHMC elections, and never before has there been any municipal election where the BJP top leaders have campaigned at this rate. Yesterday it was Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath who also drew a huge crowd, and today that has multiplied with the arrival of Home Minister Amit Shah here. You can see the visuals playing out on your screens right now. Home Minister Amit Shah waving at the BJP supporters and the BJP cadres as he makes his way through that roadshow, sending out a huge political message, not just to the party workers on the ground, but also to his political opponents in the state, to the TRS, to the MIM, to the Congress. So for the BJP, this is a big opportunity, as my colleague Maria Shakil was telling us, that with a weakened opposition, with a weakened Congress, BJP sees a great opening in the state of Telangana post Dubakka. Their confidence has just gone up, and they believe that this anti-incumbency discontent that is simmering within the state is going to help them gain ground and eventually present itself as an alternative to the ruling TRS in the run-up to the 2023 assembly elections, which are going to be held which the starting point of which is the GHMC election. Back to you.
Absolutely, and it's not just the GHMC polls, Swastika. That's just the starting ground for the BJP. As we've been saying, Mission Hyderabad is going to lead on to Mission South for the BJP, and if they're able to defeat the TRS, which enjoys a comfortable position in a region like Telangana, that's going to be a huge boost for the BJP to strengthen its position.
For the BJP, they have a government at Karnataka. They are also aiming at winning the Tamil Nadu elections in association with the AIADMK. But in Telangana, the dynamic is slightly different. See, they won 4 MP seats in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The TRS, stumping TRS, in fact, in seats like Nizamabad, where Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao's daughter, Kavita, lost her seat to BJP MP Arvind Dharmapuri. So there have been big jolts that have been sent out to the TRS. The TRS may openly, say that we are confident of winning the elections because Hyderabad, with the brand Hyderabad that is popular across the country, is something that has been made by us. But the BJP says that the TRS has actually failed the people of Hyderabad.
Yeah.
The BJP, they have been capturing very well on the local issues as well as on the national issues. All the national leaders who've been campaigning here have been actually campaigning on the national issues, accusing the TRS government of not taking up central schemes for turning a global IT city, a young city like Hyderabad, into a flood capital, which we saw during the floods last time. So the campaign pitch has been very sharp and to the point with the national issues. They've also been focusing on the local issues, saying that the TRS government is corrupt. Their bad governance has led to encroachments. Union Minister Smriti Irani accused the TRS of allowing 78,000 encroachments in the city like Hyderabad, which led to floods. So, they've been banking on these local issues and national issues and ramping up their pitch. Their biggest pitch, of course, has been TRS's association or close ties with the MIM. The BJP say that the Hindu voters in the city, in the state, have been ignored, and that is because of TRS's appeasement politics and its bid to keep Asaduddin Owaisi's support in their pocket. So these are the issues that the BJP has been, the campaign of the BJP has been panning out now, and there is a resonance on the ground because the ruling TRS has also been hitting back at them. So if not, it remains to be seen who wins the ultimate GHMC battle. But as far as the campaign pitch is concerned, the attacks and counter-attacks have been flying thick and fast, and that in itself is playing out in the minds of the voters. Back to you, Ridhima.
Right, Swastika, stay with us. Political editor Maria also now back with us. Maria, of course, we can continue to talk about how aggressive the campaigning has been on the ground for the GHMC polls and why it's important for the BJP, especially riding high on the momentum of the Bakkabai polls. But put this into a broader perspective for us. How important is this win in terms of how the BJP positions itself for its mission south?
Yes. So these are elections which is coming after the 4 Lok Sabha victories of 2019. There are four members of parliament from 4 Lok Sabha MPs. So they see that there could be further opening in the state. Look at what has happened post the UP polls victory in 2017, Ridhima. The BJP started expanding its footprint and started saying that they will be looking east. The look east policy of the party was unveiled, where they started focusing on Orissa. They focused a lot on the state of West Bengal, and it yielded results in the local elections. They turned south. They got back the state of Karnataka, where B.S. Yediyurappa is the chief minister. Moving further down, they have an alliance in the state of Tamil Nadu with AIADMK. They were certainly hoping that Rajnikant, who is the biggest superstar of the South and also of the country, would be able to, position the BJP on a certain line. But it is a very different state politics from those of central India, and hence the party is not venture out much. They just decided to align with one of the state players, that is AIADMK, in 2021 April-May elections. Now, looking at these elections, why is a municipal body election seeing this kind of push by the BJP, the ruling party of the center? Because the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation is one of the richest municipal corporations as well. Because it is the IT city, it is a city which has great opportunities in terms of infrastructure developments and others. The party says that if they win or establish their presence in the municipal elections, local body elections, then they will be able to go upwards. From local bodies, they move towards the assembly and then finally the Lok Sabha. It's a bottoms-up approach that has been applied by the party in the past, and similarly it is being done this time around.
Right, and Maria, but you know, this entire campaigning, of course, hasn't been without its share of controversies, war of words, and comments and back comments, especially the comment that we saw from KCR yesterday, without directly naming the BJP, saying we will not allow people who are trying to do divisive politics to enter a region which talks about peace and harmony. All of this in the background of the comment that came in from Yogi Adityanath, who said that if the BJP comes to power, we'll rename Hyderabad.
Yes. The proposal that they have done of renaming Hyderabad to Bhagyanagar is part of the renaming project of the party. They feel that these names these are relics of the past in terms of the Nizam idea of what a city such as Hyderabad should be done away with, as they have done with Allahabad, which has been renamed to Prayagraj, or other cities in Uttar Pradesh as well. So now they are on that mission which has happened, and that is the proposal that has been made by Yogi Adityanath, because he is seen as a star campaigner of the party, and also a very one of the most polarizing figures also of Indian politics. But again, as I've been saying, this is an opportunity only for a reason. Ridhima, that the opposition space there is a vacuum in the opposition space, which the party is sensing an opportunity to occupy this time around. And also because in Hyderabad, the politics has been largely centered around MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi. And Owaisi, because of the politics that he does, Mr. Owaisi has been seen as, in state of Bihar or others, he may have been called the B team of the BJP, but he has certainly established himself as a force to reckon with.
Right. Of course, Maria, thanks for getting us those details and putting that into perspective for us. So, of course, the BJP looking at an opportunity here to fill the vacuum of the opposition, the big guns on the ground. Home Minister Amit Shah, of course, conducting his roadshow from Secunderabad right now. We'll be having a press conference at the BJP state office later in the day as well. We'll continue to get you all those developments. For now, slipping into a very short break. Thank you so much for watching.